they changed too much for the people that didn't want anything, and they didn't change enough for the people that wanted to change stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. So, yeah, I feel like it's one of those things where like, if you with Season of Discovery, if you have this thing come out and if it completely bombs, then it basically kills Classic Plus. But I don't think it'll completely bomb no matter what. Which, to be honest, is kind of a problem. Because then it gives you like a false sense of hope or security through Blizzard.
That, like, it might be better.
It's like, oh, like this, no, with all the people playing it, this is good, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, no.
Because in our mind, I thought what we were going to get was like maybe a little class tweaks, very similar, but then expansion on the lore, like Highjow, Emerald Dream, and like that was going to be the main point. Like literally play through afresh, and then like add some later on. That's what I thought it was going to be like. Like, okay, we're going to continue the story. But this is a whole different. It's like a P server. It's like a P server.
You know what's funny is, like I said, I think mid-level content is something they should add. So that's cool that they added that.
Yeah.
Yo, hey, we're having Wild Talk.
Huh?
We're having our Wild Talk.
What'd you say?
We're talking like classic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Busy.
So what are you up to?
I just came here. Are you gonna go see the K-pop idol?
I think it'd be funny.
Can you enter though? Yeah, they're gonna come soon.
Wait,
when?
And then they said there's no special entry for media.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, no.
Earlier, yesterday, for the opening ceremony, we showed up like late for the opening ceremony, and we just walked through one of the doors like behind a caterer, and we just pretended like we were supposed to be there, and they're like, yeah, I guess, yeah, you're good. So like, I feel like most people, for lack of a better way of saying it,
Well, it might have been-
it's
No,
so
I-
big, they're just like...
It might have been different for media though yesterday for opening ceremony.
That's true, actually.
Yeah, because they probably saw that because you had your green, right?
Yeah.
They probably saw your green. And they were like, yeah. That's what I would guess happened.
So you don't have special access because you're Steph or anything.
Wait, actually, I might because I have a staff badge.
Yeah, you for sure do.
Yeah, so maybe I do. I need a staff badge because I was going behind curtains to try
Like that, and well, Trill has, it's the...
yeah, what's up, dude?
The
How's it going, dude?
Yeah,
Is that you mean?
the Rat Warrior was fun with, who we play with?
We played with Settle a little bit.
Oh, Settle, yeah.
Settle's a freaking beast.
Yes.
Yeah. Sick. Yeah, it's good seeing you, dude. Yeah. What were you saying? Sorry. My brain just reset. You just said something.
Oh, I was wondering, like, because I haven't asked Kargoz either, and he's like the person who started the WoW hardcore scene, and popularized it. I'm like, how that felt for you to try the new stuff. Did you get to try it?
I tried the demo. It was a lot of fun. What you're saying, the BFD season of Discovery,
Yeah.
right?
How does it feel like?
Yeah, it was cool. There's a few things we were talking amongst ourselves, like some of the mechanics with the travel and stuff felt kind of like retail-y with the swirls and kind of cataclysm-like, but not necessarily a bad thing. I think we all love vanilla. We're scared that it might, some stuff could break, but at the same time, you got to innovate, got to try things. So I'm cautiously optimistic about it all.
I think they got to they're probably going to rebalance the whole game. Because it's the numbers are way off.
Yes.
Like if they keep anything close to what it is right now, the whole game is gonna not work.
It's gonna be just like, it's like the Wild West. I'm along for the ride right now. I'm also very cautiously optimistic. Yeah, we're level 25.
I will ask if Steph
Yeah.
have a special ride.
Yeah, we don't know like what's gonna be added.
And then I'll tell you.
Yeah, but seeing Harris, dude, Vanilla Hyjal gets me so hyped. A Scarlet Monastery raid, that's so hype. Ashara, you guarantee they're gonna do stuff with Ashara because that's the most like wasted zone, and we're finally gonna see what they're planning. Like we're gonna get like a Naga raid.
It was like a last minute cut from WoW was to have like an actual Nova style. That was just like they've still got the assets waiting for it. You never know.
Wasn't it the one?
We're gonna have a lot.
Somebody.
This I brought it from home.
It's like one of the best players on Liquid, but they just never.
I think we're gonna get a lot of stuff.
Cautiously optimistic.
I'm very intrigued.
There's some passionate people doing shit. Josh and Gren, like they love vanilla. They get the whole world buff meta. They get what makes vanilla special. So when you have people like that are, it can't be that bad as my thing. I think they're gonna try to do it the best they can and do a good job with it.
I remember it was
Hopefully, vanilla has many years to come.
I mean, I like the guys. So I just talking to them and stuff. Like you can tell, like they care. So they're the big thing is I just hope I just hope it's done. I just hope it's done in a way that like feels like vanilla, because I think like the whole like the general idea behind the room thing, it just feels so much like retail talents, and it's like no, I don't think they should add it.
I will say, I did not like. We just did the demo. We pulled up to the turtle boss. Everyone pulled out their runes and changed their spec. I'm the type of guy that, like you said, special.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, do I want to go I want to be a mutilate rogue. I want to be a mutilate rogue.
Yeah.
I don't want to change to a tank for this fight.
Yeah.
And they're like, rogue tank's really good for this fight. I'm like, I want to be a mutilate
a
rogue.
little too much like you're eroding class identity if like suddenly every class can be anything just
Right.
depending on what you fight.
Exactly. I really think that's like that you hit the nail on the head. I think that's the main problem that I have right now. Is like, why are rogue tanks a thing? Why are
Warlock
mage healers a
tanks a
thing? Well, warlock tanks. It's funny. I was like hard no on warlock tanks, and now I'm like, I get it, but like, man, just seeing the metamorphosis lock in that like it's so like.
It's polarizing.
It disconnects me. It's like unimmersive for me.
It is super
25.
underrated.
It's similar to the Joyous Journeys buff or whatever it was called in Psalm. They're not like directly buffing and nerfing the classes. They're doing it in like kind of an outside of the box way with the runes, like applying stuff. So they're not fully like just sending it with that.
It's not like a hard command.
A hard command, and they can peel it back, right?
Yeah.
But the interesting thing Ampi said, so Ampi, GM Frontier, everyone knows Ampi these days. He was saying that there is a way for them to do these dungeons, like the BFD raids, in a way that where the difficulty feels more like vanilla, where like instead of the swirls on the ground with the turtles, you just have more turtles spawn, or maybe they do way more damage or something. Where that feels more vanilla, where you just get one shot by something as opposed to going the more retail way. So it's kind of a test for him, I think, with the BFD.
Well, you know what's funny is like, so people say in retail, they're like, oh, well, like look at the mechanics of retail. You have to move so much more. Classic players don't move for anything. Yeah, it's true. But in retail, how many movement, displacement, speed increases? How many things do you have to help your movement? And how many different classes?
Literally, jump in the water, first boss, bubble boost speed, tornado vortexing. And it's like super overwhelming versus like, you know, the boss has like an actual ability that you feel like you interact with, but this is like you in fact interacting with the environment, and the boss is just like an ad in a weird way.
I felt like half of the fight was just
Like the turtle
running
boss
around
too.
in a loop.
Nothing is. The turtle boss is irrelevant. The bubbles are relevant, and it's all about like you and the environment. Yeah, that's what's really taking people out.
But it's
So
I still am like on the side of like we're level 25, right? Like imagine doing dungeons right now at level 25.
Yeah.
You usually have one ability on whatever class you're playing. You have one thing you can do, and like there's no challenge obviously for dungeons. Even at a low level on hardcore, you just take it slow.
Right.
So like I'm intrigued to see like how they take it. They can't take it too far because that ruins it all. But like I think like the feedback of people about like how you feel and wanting to like maintain the classic vibe, the classic magic, is something that helps them with the time gating, right? Of us being like stuck at 25, they're like, oh, let's peel these things back. Let's peel. Because they literally said when we were streaming with them, they were like, yeah, if you guys have like ideas, like we were like very open to like this wants to be really good, and they're very passionate about it.
Yeah, that's the one thing I feel really good about is like I think they really care. That's the thing. I actually think they really care. So like, and obviously we know some of them now. I mean, with like it's like Zyrene is working there, Artemis is working there, Will Scarlet's working there. So it's like we know a bunch of people who like played vanilla who are now working on the team.
Who love vanilla and like
But like, so that's like super. What's the word I'm looking for? It's like comforting.
Yeah.
But it's just, unfortunately, and it's just the truth. A lot of times, whoever is working on something, isn't the person who gets to make the decisions on something. And that was like one of the things with. Which I don't think is the case as much now, but it was really the case in vanilla.
Yeah.
Like in classic launch, and even going into Burning Crusade, but it got better. Because like I'd be talking to people, and then one was like progressive itemization, where it's like at the top they put like a hard stop on progressive itemization. They're like, no, we're not gonna do that. They'll be confused. The players will be too confused. We shouldn't do that. I'm like, no, we should. And this is why everything's gonna be so easy. Yada yada yada. Like classic was just super easy.
Super
like,
basic.
Yeah, and it's like. It's always easy, but it shouldn't have been that easy. That was the problem.
I think the weird thing is like, circling back to what you said about the comfort, and it's like you have that trust, like, okay, these people are passionate, but then how does the metamorphosis get into the game? Like, how is that even like on the table of discussion? For me, because it's like Demon Hunter. Like, Demon Hunter's now in the game, and I'm sitting here with like potato shoulders on, looking like a level 25, but Crix is now Illidan, and Illidan is with me.
Right.
And it's like, well, then how do we even get to this conversation? If this is how it is at 25, what's it going to look like at 60 if it's going to be amplified?
That's the caution is. It's like if they rein it. Yeah.
The abilities we saw in the demo aren't all going to be available at 25. I find it really hard to believe that we would just be given, like, I was playing Priest, like Mind Seer, Barrier, like Prayer Feeling, so many abilities all right off the rip.
Yeah. I think it's reasonable to think that. But I think that they are going to give us all those things we saw at 25, because I think what they're going to try and do is give you level 25 with a level 60 feel. So
Because without you have like 15
That's
talents.
their point.
And I do think that, to your point earlier, like, that's what's spawning and it's kind of getting overcrowded.
It's just going to be
skill set into our finally 60.
Well, I do think. Have you played Ascension? Have you heard of Ascension?
I never really played it. I downloaded the client and like logged in years ago. It was like 2018 Ascension.
Yeah, I haven't played too much of it, but it's like a soft version of that, right? Because Ascension, there's no class. You just make it up. I played it, you log in, you don't really know who you're going up against. Just like total wild card to wild card.
Yeah.
This has like somewhat of a frame. Like Rogue, okay, I know your generic skill set.
Yeah.
But now if we get to 60 and have 100 runes just for rogues, we now can create and shape our own class, which I think as like a world PvPer, that's super exciting.
Right.
As rating, it's super exciting, but then it kind of comes with this caveat of like, well, you can change the runes now every 2 seconds.
Right.
Where like I could literally sap you and change my rune, all to counter you, and it's like, well, that's a toxic gameplay. You can totally
Sap drop combat, rune
you can
change.
Sap and rune change on any.
That's gonna be something they.
I'm like, how is that going to play out? Are we going to have literally rune keybinds?
Yeah,
We're going to have rune keybinds.
Because you'll be able to, like, there's probably a console command for it. So you'll be able to literally like console command change your rune, probably.
Yeah.
So like once they figure it out.
Some things were really cool. Like Trill was healing us, and he had Crusader Strike on his healing paladin, and it was 4-second CD, 2% mana back on. So he was like hitting and doing a bunch of melees and doing a ton of damage, and that's how he like was not going in these really long fights. And like that's something that probably most people weren't gonna think about, but like one of the best players in the whole world is like instantly sees that and he's like, I'm gonna run with that, knowing what's gonna go on in this raid.
Well, and that's kind of how Holy works in retail right now.
Yeah.
Holy works in retail by they're like in melee a lot.
Really?
So they're like spamming Crusader Strikes, and like you could easily like have like, okay, put up Seal of Wisdom, right?
Yeah.
To your point, getting mana back, Crusader Strike, does Crusader Strike block Seal of Wisdom in this new version? I don't know. We'll see, right?
Yeah.
But that's like a type of gameplay to have that like paladin battle healer archetype that was the original design for paladins. It's like the original design for paladins, like patch 1.1, was like Holy was a DPS build, but it was not good DPS, but you did damage. Like Holy Shock didn't even heal originally.
Wow, I did not know that at all.
Holy Shock was not a healing ability. It was literally like an Earth Shock without an interrupt, without high threat, and on like a 30-second cooldown.
Yeah.
It was terrible. but
They're like, that didn't work.
Like the vanilla classes, the original design gives me a very original archetype of Dungeons and Dragons. Like if you open up the original manuals,
100%.
that is kind of what you
That's
feel.
what the game was based off of.
Yeah, and then nowadays it's kind of like you said, now paladins are not having mana issues. They can just pump and get mana. Well then, like, how does that make a player feel? Mages now have Icelands.
Yeah.
So now Nova feels different. It's like, it's no longer. Yeah, I was not a fan.
We're just gonna get ruined.
Yeah. Well, it's just the whole play style now is just going to be, is the Nova sticky or not?
Well,
and then everyone's going to complain about
It's gonna be
RNG.
90% mage.
Yeah.
Literally, like Icelands alone, just big shatter. I mean, well, I guess you might not shatter, but you'll have
No, you have finger frost.
But what am I thinking of?